Hi, third graders. I'm back to continue reading Mercy Watson Fights Crime. I want to remind you that you should have listened to part 1 yesterday during the tablero de actividades. If you have not done that, push pause now on this video and go back to yesterday's work so you can listen to part 1 and follow the instructions. If you are ready for part 2, I will be reading a little bit more today, but you will continue to write down anything that comes to mind for setting characters, problem, and solution on the same paper you used yesterday. Remember, you're going to turn in this paper on Thursday, so make sure you're following along, and I hope you're really enjoying the book. Chapter 7. Mercy woke up. Oink, she said. Easy now, said a voice. Mercy looked out the corner of her eye. The little man was on her back. Mercy stood up. Steady, girl, said the little man. Mercy shook herself. The little man slid forward. Whoa there, he said. Mercy smelled something. What was it? Butter. Mercy looked around the kitchen. No bread, no toaster, but she definitely smelled butter. Maybe someone next door was making sugar cookies. Oink, said Mercy. She galloped out the open door. She galloped toward the Lincoln sisters' house. Yippee-oh, shouted Leroy Ninker. Away we go. Chapter 8. Upstairs at 54 Deckawoo Drive, Mrs. Watson woke up. Mr. Watson, she said. Mm-hmm, said Mr. Watson. Did you hear a noise? Said Mrs. Watson. What sort of a noise, dear? A yippee-oh sort of noise, said Mrs. Watson. No, I did not hear a yippee-oh sort of noise, said Mr. Watson. You were dreaming, my dear. I was, said Mrs. Watson. You were, said Mr. Watson. Go back to sleep. Mrs. Watson got out of bed. I think that I will go and check on Mercy, she said, and then I will go back to sleep. Excellent, mumbled Mr. Watson. A top-notch plan, my dear. Mr. Watson started to snore. Chapter 9. Inside the Lincoln sisters' house, baby Lincoln woke up. She went into her sister Eugenia's room. Sister, wake up, baby said. There is somebody outside shouting yippee-yo. Did you have pie before bed again? Asked Eugenia. I did not, said baby. I think you did, said Eugenia. I did not, said baby. Go back to your room immediately, said Eugenia. Yes, sister, said baby. Baby went back to her room. She got into her bed. She heard another yippee-yo. Oh dear, said baby. I wish I had not eaten that pie. Chapter 10. Yippee-yo! Baby, shouted Eugenia, come back here immediately. Baby got out of bed. She went into Eugenia's room. Yeah, sister? She said baby. Did you hear that noise? Said Eugenia. Was it a yippee-yo, sister? It was, said Eugenia. You are dreaming, said baby. Nonsense, said Eugenia. Open the curtain. Baby opened the curtain. Together, the Lincoln sisters watched Mercy gallop across the lawn. They watched the little man on her back take his cowboy hat off and wave it over his head. Yippee-oh, the little man shouted. That pig is disturbing the peace, said Eugenia. And so is that cowboy riding her. I'm calling the police. Oh, sister, said baby, are you sure it's not a dream? It's a nightmare, said Eugenia. That's what it is. Chapter 11. Next door, Mrs. Watson discovered that Mercy was not in her bed. Mr. Watson, she shouted, come at once. Mr. Watson came at once. Mercy's not here, said Mrs. Watson. Are you certain? Asked Mr. Watson. Have you looked under the bed? Mrs. Watson bent over. She looked under the bed. She's not here, said Mrs. Watson. Mr. and Mrs. Watson stood together in Mercy's room. What should we do? Asked Mrs. Watson. Yippee-oh! It's that noise again, said Mrs. Watson. Mr. Watson went to the window. He opened the curtain. He looked outside. Mrs. Watson, said Mr. Watson, we must call the fire department. immediately. It's an emergency. Chapter 12. In reality, Leroy Ninker was a small thief on the back of a big pig. But in Leroy's mind, he was a cowboy riding a bucking bronco in the Wild West. Being a cowboy is hard work, said Leroy Ninker. I need some refreshment. Leroy reached into his shirt pocket. He grabbed hold of a butter barrel candy. He unwrapped it with one hand. He put it in his mouth. Ah, said Leroy Ninker, this is the life. But just then, the pig kicked up her heels. The pig bucked, the pig reared. Leroy Ninker lost his grip. Yippee, said Leroy. He flew through the air. Aye, said Leroy. He landed on his back. Oh, said Leroy Ninker. Chapter 13. Mercy sniffed. There was a delightful smell again. Butter. Where was it coming from? She looked around. She saw the little man lying on the ground. She sniffed his face. Hee hee, the little man said. That tickles. Mercy snuffled the man's shirt. Hee hee, he said again. In order to snuffle the man better, Mercy sat on top of him. Hee hee, get off me, said the man. Mercy put her snout in the man's shirt pocket. She snuffled some more. Oh, hee hee, said the little man. Help! We're going to stop there today, friends, and I will see you again on Thursday to finish off the book. Bye!